Taboo and uncomfortable to discuss. Ironically, sex and sexuality are an integral part of what it means to be a human. Seen as a healthy and crucial aspect of what it means to connect to romantic partners, sexuality for the INFJ can contribute to their self-exploration and self-acceptance while acting as a key that unlocks their hidden passionate energy. So, what's behind an INFJ's complex sexuality? Welcome back, psychos. Before we get into it, we'd love it if you liked and subscribed to our channel, as well as to click the post notification bell so you never miss a video. Alright, let's get right into it. Starting with number 1. They are hopeless romantics. Considered complex by nature, the INFJ is known for their contradicting behaviors and habits. And while this complexity certainly plays a part when it comes to their sexual experience, that's not to say it's considered difficult to get the INFJ in the mood. In fact, being the hopeless romantics they are, INFJs usually hold unspoken expectations towards their romantic partners. Although they're not always as open to communicating these expectations, sometimes for the simple fact that they don't consciously know they expect them in the first place, they tend to be very simple and commonsensical. Whether it's setting the mood with calming and romantic external stimuli such as candles, low lighting, and background music, or it's proving to them throughout the day that they aren't alone in their responsibilities, the INFJ's sexual vigor is largely impacted by mental stimuli. It's through the INFJ's mind that you can access their heart and sexual desires. Through kindness, reciprocated empathy, respect, and non-lustful advances, the INFJ's sensual nature is unleashed. Number 2. INFJs are innate people pleasers. One thing that plays a big role in the INFJ's surprisingly high sexual interest has to do with the simple fact that they are people pleasers at heart. In their everyday lives, there's nothing that gives the INFJ a sense of satisfaction quite like seeing their work or kind gesture positively affect someone else. The same gratification takes effect when it comes to the bedroom. No matter their gender, INFJs can become fascinated by the unique forms of pleasure, both mentally and physically, that they are able to provide to their romantic interest. While they may be shy and hesitant, INFJs wait for the green light they observe from their partner's reactions. Thankfully, due to their highly alert extroverted feeling and sensing functions, INFJs are able to easily process the unspoken responses when it comes to exploring their partner's interests. Not only do they take mental notes, but they are able to absorb and reflect back the pleasure, or lack thereof, that their partner experiences. In other words, nothing turns an INFJ on like their partner being turned on. Number 3. Physical attraction is a very small piece to the puzzle. Physical attraction is said to be one of the first and most crucial aspects of physical intimacy with another. And while INFJs certainly have their types, compared to some people, physical attraction isn't as important for this personality type. In fact, an INFJ is much more likely to fall for someone's character and kindness than they are to consider someone out of sheer looks. Not only is this for the philosophical fact of craving to build a connection with one's soul, but for most INFJs, the importance of physical looks, whether someone is conventionally attractive or not, quickly fade in a romantic connection once their spiritual and emotional attraction takes over. The INFJ's deep understanding of human behavior allows them to see far beyond the physical vessel, even leading them to stray away from conventionally attractive people due to the assumption that they experience life, confidence, and vulnerability in a different way. Bringing us to our next point. Number 4. INFJs are turned off by cockiness and overconfidence. The level of vulnerability that comes to sharing intimate moments with a new or existing partner can be off-putting, especially for the reserved INFJ. However, vulnerability and insecurities are essential aspects of new sexual connections, and often give these moments of exposure an essence of beauty and thrill. In fact, for the INFJ, it's within these subtle moments of observing this vulnerability through their desired partner that ignites their infatuation even further. And so, if the INFJ senses that a potential partner is overly confident, it can actually come as a major turnoff. This is mostly because when it comes to people who mindlessly utilize their sexual essence, vulnerability and trust have very little to do with the process. To the INFJ, most times they can't overlook this overconfidence, viewing it as being conceited behavior, ultimately ruining all chances with this introspective type. As a matter of fact, these are the people that INFJs try to avoid at all costs. Luckily, their requirement for emotional depth is the perfect pre-wired boundary to keep them from mixing with the wrong crowd. Number 5. INFJs have elaborate fantasies. With an intricate and vivid imagination like the INFJ, there's something about their inner introverted intuitive world that gives way to their unique fantasies. While you would never expect the seemingly closed-off and uninterested INFJ to indulge in such thoughts, this personality type can live through long and well-thought-out scenarios within the very facets of their own heads. From planning future possibilities to living out alternative realities, there's nothing that stops the INFJ from diving deep into the infinite and at times seemingly impossible potentials life has to offer. Despite their exterior demeanor never giving them away, the INFJ's inner fantasy world serves as a creative space for some of their wildest thoughts to come to light. To put it simply, their fantasizing imagination is wild in nature, and can even take the conscious INFJ to places they'd never go intentionally. In fact, it's not impossible for the INFJ themselves to be left utterly speechless and uncomfortable with just how odd their mind can be at times. And while most of these thoughts remain behind closed doors, if the INFJ is lucky enough to find someone they feel comfortable enough exploring these ideas with, they'll be pleasantly surprised at the sort of adventures they'll find themselves in. Which brings us to our next point. Number 6. INFJs are considered demisexual. Despite the INFJ's fantasies of all genres, when it comes to the real world, most people with this personality type only see sexual intimacy as an option to those they are deeply connected with. Considered demisexual, this personality type requires a secured level of emotional intimacy far before acting on sexual desires. For some people, if done safely, the idea of casual sex can be a great way of self-exploration. For the INFJ, however, the thought of sharing a moment of sexual intimacy with someone they barely know rarely turns into anything more than just a thought. Casual sex is rarely fulfilling or rewarding for the INFJ, even if they do participate in this at one point or another. Not only is this because they can't imagine letting their guard down, but they don't want to risk falling for a false sense of attachment. In fact, for the INFJ personality type in particular, something as intimate as, well, intimacy, can certainly serve as a basis for deeper feelings. Plus, for the INFJ, it is difficult to really feel comfortable or safe with people, meaning it takes time for them to reach this point. They need to be with someone who makes them feel comfortable, or else sex can end up feeling like a chore or an obligation. And lastly, number 7. They can end up seducing people with their energy and mystery. There's no doubt that a spontaneous interaction with an INFJ stranger is often laced with intense energy and underlying mystery. Although their external demeanor is calm and composed, most people can tell that there is much more going on in their mind than they are leading others to believe. And while the INFJ usually doesn't realize they are doing it in the moment, their simple gestures, body language, and composure can intoxicate those who are interested in them. With a relaxed attitude and intelligent conversation, the intuitive INFJ not only automatically adjusts their output to match that of their conversational opponent, but they instantly absorb surrounding energies and alter their wording to allow others to feel more comfortable. Although not entirely genuine, this chameleon-like approach makes even the simplest exchange of words leave others with an indescribable feeling that can have them questioning if they're attracted to the INFJ, regardless of outer appearance. Not to mention, this intensity is only amplified when the INFJ captures someone into one of their deep and empathetic conversations. Well, psychos, that's it for today. So, do you think your approach to sexuality is affected by a personality type? Let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a video.